This is a Jmix exclusive.
While I was working at 662, I heard something over the Nextels that we all carried for security. And what I heard was, got him.
No, that's news to me. The only phones I know of, I think, are all through AT&T.
These radios that we keep talking about, the Nextel telephones, two-way radios, they had pretty much just come into play. Because originally, all we had were the, regular radios, just the radio itself. And probably closer to around the time of us coming out to Las Vegas, around the time frame of Pac being killed, I would say that those Nextel phone radios had just come into play for right-way security. There was only, it's a guess, there was probably only 4 or 5 of them. Okay, but it was enough to go around to the people that mattered that should have had them.
The Nextel information is news.
The voice was definitely one of our, not paid security, but one of security that works with directly for Mr. Knight, came over the radio. Now, I couldn't pinpoint exactly whose voice it was, but it was some voice that I had heard before. So I knew it was one of our, not one of our direct security that was hired with us, but one of the, what would we call them? What would we call them? One of the homeboy securities. You said, got him, right before me and Mr. Wright got in the vehicle to go get to the hospital.
Michael Moore, the night that Tupac was shot, after being taken off of Tupac with me, went back over to Club 662.
Then someone else came on the radio and said, hey, don't say nothing over the radio.
So Michael was with Reggie, and they went to the hospital together. And Michael talks about hearing something over the radio. Well, he would have heard it over Reggie's radio because he wouldn't have had a radio that night.
Nextel sold a push-to-talk feature, which was essentially a walkie-talkie over a cell phone line. With it, conversations could be transmitted via speakerphone. This was how Moore heard the conversation on Wright's cell phone. But was this a random broadcast meant for a wider audience, with Moore and Wright only passive listeners? That's possible now. But what about in 1996? We asked the Sprint Nextel Corporation to comment on the ability to communicate with a group on the push-to-talk feature.
My name is Jack Flans. I'm a communications manager for Sprint Nextel. Group talk for the push-to-talk product was not available in 1996 as it is now.
So if a Nextel radio broadcast had to be a point-to-point conversation, and Moore hears the message over Wright's Nextel, then only one conclusion remains. Someone with immediate knowledge of the kill called Wright directly.
Right after the car sped off, I jumped out of the car and I ran up to the back of the BMW. As I was approaching the BMW, as I got about to the trunk, the car did a U-turn. There's absolutely no way I thought that car was moving, because with all of the rounds that went through that car, they were dead. There's absolutely no way in the world that car should have moved.
Can we make this look like an accident, or can we make this look like a random act? Because the best thing an assassin can do is to make it look like it was a random act of violence, that it was not an assassination at all. And in their ability to do that, they once again have secured a better defense for themselves.
Random shooting, random shooting when you've got just driving down the street and just coincidentally some gunman sticks his arm out of a white Cadillac and shoots the biggest rapper in America, and that's a coincidence.